right. So thanks for joining me today. I've got one of our Doane student athletes here, Tressa Bull, who is a sophomore on the women's golf team. And we've also invited a Doane alum who happens to be Tressa's dad, Carter Bull. And without going into a lot of detail, Carter was a senior on the football team here at Doane back in 1990 when a young freshman who was me showed up on campus. And so I've known Carter for a while here, but I want to thank you both for joining me, and then I'll let you both talk a little bit about what life is like where you're at as we're going. But I guess first off, Tressa, I'll let you talk first. Where are you at now, and what kind of guidelines do you have as far as any restrictions or getting outdoors and that?
Well, I came home. I moved home, so we're up in Jameson, Nebraska, and we live in the country, so we don't have a lot of restrictions. We go outside, and some of my siblings and I go out on runs, and we do workouts and things on our own. And the golf course in Burke, South Dakota, where I went to high school, is still open. And so I go up there and golf on the nice days, and now it's turning into really nice days, so I'll be out there even more often. So I'm just kind of readjusting to living at home rather than on campus or in Lincoln.
Good deal. Well, and jumping around a little bit here, I guess, Carter, speaking of being back home, your plans as far as the family were with Tressa to be in Crete right now, finishing out the spring semester, and all of a sudden she's back home and you've got other folks back home. What's that been like to have everybody all of a sudden flood?
It's been all right. We have a pretty small house, and there's not a chance to get away. In fact, if for the history of the family, I've got 5 daughters and one, and the boys, Ian, is taken to sleeping in the camper most nights when the weather permits. So he's just got to find a little space to get away on his own, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's been good. Last night we had a great night of running around and playing in the yard, and we've been able to keep up on yard work for the first time. And I don't know, get there more work after, no softball, no track, no golf meets to go chase after. So we actually had time to be here and do stuff. So that's been nice having the kids around. They're kind of in a good routine. They get up most of them in the morning and do some exercise and training. And then after they shower from about 11 o'clock to 3 every day, their homework and their studies. And then we hopefully in the evening, either if it's good weather, we get to the golf course. We've got a throwing pad right here in the backyard. So my 3 throwing girls will go out and they'll do their throwing workout. And, we're just trying to make it as normal as we can. And having a senior in high school this year, it kind of stinks that she lost out on her senior year, but she's not alone, and it's really, her attitude's been great. She's ready to close that chapter and move on to the next one, which is just so happens is going to be being part of the track and field team and student body there at Doane. So
good deal. Good. Well, Tressa, with school going online halfway through the semester, how has that adjustment treated you?
It's been good. My teachers have been really really well at communicating with us of what we're supposed to be doing. In all of my education classes, we have Zoom meetings, so we are still keeping up with our education classes and doing lesson plans and things. And then I have a couple classes that are requirements for education, but they give us a schedule of what we need to do for each week, and it's due that Sunday night at midnight. And so we have time to do that. So that's nice, because then we know exactly what we're doing ahead of time if we want to get ahead on the homework.
Were you doing anything in the classroom with education? Were you?
I was. I had a practicum placement where I was in a first grade classroom, and I only had a couple days there because I only went 1 day a week. And so between spring break and some of the other stuff that I had to do for education classes where I had to miss a day, I got cut short on that, which was kind of disappointing because I was really enjoying being in that class, because I was in preschool classrooms for pretty much my whole other first semester, and then I was also in a preschool classroom for my intro to early childhood class since I'm an elementary ed major with an endorsement in early childhood.
Are they talking about you having to make some of those things up in the next year, or are they trying to find a way to just move through those experiences virtually, or how's that all working?
They're not exactly sure yet. We haven't gotten any information because I don't know if they know. We're just going along with in-class stuff for right now until we can figure out where we need to go for next year.
Yep, and a lot is up in the air right now, academically and athletically. So, so speaking about athletics, and you know, you went through obviously and golfed in the fall, the short fall season, and then the spring season is when you know, things get even more active, and we compete for championships and whatnot. You did have a great experience, which I'll let you talk about, going on a spring break trip with the golf team to Hawaii. And then if you could talk about that, and then when you came home, and then all of a sudden that golf season quickly went dark. How did that whole process go for you?
So we left for Hawaii over spring break. So we were there for the whole week of spring break, and we golfed twice over there. And the golf course was beautiful, and I golfed really well both days. And then we just had some time to do some team bonding, which was great because we never really had that opportunity. And we're a small enough team that we can have those times to just be with everyone. So we started getting word of that by the time we were our fourth day in. We started getting word that school was closing and that we were going to be online classes. And then on the day we were leaving, we got word that our spring season was canceled. So of course our seniors were kind of bummed because that was their senior year and their final opportunity to compete as a Doane golfer. And so that was kind of tough for them. But we also just had a lot of fun times with that. They just went out and continued to celebrate in a beautiful place like Hawaii. So we just had a lot of that. And then we came back, and I was going to stay on campus at first. And then I came home for a little while, and then mom and dad decided to keep me home. So we went down and loaded my stuff up and came back. And now I've been here ever since.
Yep, and here we are. Well, you down the road, once you do become a senior and graduate, you do have, or will have, the opportunity to have that extra season of eligibility if you decided you wanted to come back as a fifth year or as a grad student. And so those are conversations that may happen down the road. But anyway, this thing has opened up opportunities and that nobody ever thought would have existed. So anyway, Carter, with you and you know, in the working world, this has upended a lot of things for a lot of folks. If you could talk for a minute about how this has affected you working for the school district and coaching a spring sport with track and field. You know, how has this all impacted your daily routine that way?
You know, daily routine has been primarily at home, with the exception of, as of right now, 2 days a week I go in and again, I had mentioned to Matt earlier, our school suffered a hit from a tornado in August, and so we had a late start to our school year and lost half of our school facility. As far as our middle school, high school complex, most of our middle school was wiped out, and our gymnasium. Our secondary gymnasium was the civic center of the school, and it was taken out as well. So we were left without a gym, and ended up doing all of our fall sports and winter sports at a neighboring school that had closed its high school, and they opened up their gym to us to use. So that was nice, up 20 miles away. So that started our year off. They've been doing a lot of remodeling to that, and the workers come in and use our restroom facility. So I go in twice a week and just kind of clean up and take the trash out, and you know, been doing a little yard work while I'm in there as the weather permitted. And still was doing a lot of snow scooping the last couple of weeks. And our kids have been dropping assignments off on Fridays and Mondays. And that's going to come to a stop. The teachers finally gave everything through the year in, and the kids are supposed to turn in what they can online and then keep the rest of it and mail a packet back to school. So they've kind of limited the number of people coming in. Most of the requests, Burke, South Dakota is where I work at, and the governor just kind of requested that we really start limiting contact or kids coming into schools and just the chance of contamination. So yeah, it's been crazy. As far as our spring sport, man, I was excited. I had 2 male senior throwers, and I had my daughter who's a senior thrower. And Sammy's been with me since the 5th grade throwing, and so 8 years of working, and had a lot of talented girls in front of her the last 3 years, and so her varsity ability or chance to compete was limited, and so she was looking forward to finally have that. And not only that, but she was most likely going to have her 2 sisters throwing with her at every meet. And that's kind of a unique experience that she lost out on. And the 2 boys that I had that threw came to me. One of them is an 8th grader, one is a freshman. Neither one had any size to them. They still don't have any size to them, but man, you can't, they put the effort in every day. They're wonderful to have around. You can throw them in on a relay because they're pretty quick. One of them was a pulling guard on the football team, and the other one was the fullback. And like I say, not a lot of size to them, but had the heart of champions. And then they were, we had 1 week of practice before it all shut down, and man, they were hitting that first week of practice better than where they ended last season off, and everything was looking good. And yeah, it was disappointing to lose that, but in perspective, every one of them has great things they want to accomplish going forward. I live with one of them and been in contact with the other 2, and they're all going to be okay. And while it hurts in the moment, they're going to go on to great things.
Good deal. Well, yeah, and I think a lot of everybody's learning daily from what's going on here, and my hope, having young girls at home too, is that this will be a learning experience, and hopefully everybody's able to stay flexible and bounce back and be better when we do, with the kids, get back to school and something a lot more close to normal than where we are right now.
Yeah.
So last thing, and you mentioned it a little bit earlier, Tressa, but you're in a sport where fortunately you are able to get out right now, and in golf, and social distancing on the golf course isn't all that difficult to do. So do you feel like you're staying up with your skills and continuing to grow as an athlete that way?
Yeah, I've gone out quite a bit already. And like Dad mentioned earlier, we're going out later today. But as the weather keeps getting nicer, I'm going to go out and I'm going to get back into my practice routine, working on certain aspects of the game, my chipping, my putting, hitting on the driving range. In our town, we have a nice golf course that allows us to do that, and we can go out on the course and hit from certain yardages that we need to work on. So I am very thankful that I came home, because I can do that. In a bigger city, I don't know how well I would feel comfortable going out to a golf course. But here, I know everything, that everybody's taking precautions and following the rules that are set, or guidelines that are set at the golf course. So, and then I also have the opportunity to take my 2 younger siblings out who golf also. So I've been helping them as well. And so we just go and practice on our own, since their season got canceled also. Good.
Well, you get a combined family time with your sport. So that's
Yes.
good, and continue to do that, because a lot of athletes right now, unfortunately, are shut down completely. So anyway, well, good deal. Well, hey, I want to thank both of you for taking some time to join me today. And is there anything else that either of you want to share or offer up before we close out?
I don't have anything.
No, just I've had an opportunity through some Zoom sessions and some card playing video apps that actually have video with them too, to reconnect with a lot of the gang, and so it's some of our downtime has been a blessing. We've been able to connect with people that we haven't seen in decade or longer, and if you haven't done that yet, the Doane connection's still there. So go get out there, and I know John Drageo invited me into a Friday afternoon happy hour that they have on Zoom, and it was kind of neat to see Troy Anderson and Justin Rouse, and didn't see Tom Reeves this week, but Jeff Walker was on there, and Brian Kirst, and I'm probably forgetting a few people, but it was fun. It was a very enjoyable evening.
Good deal. All right. Well, hey, Tressa, Carter, good to see both of you. And thanks for joining us on Inside the Den. and hopefully we will see you early this fall.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Matt.